going on, everybody? Well, my mic on. Oh, yeah, I'm on. What's going on, everybody? Everybody's having a good day today. Happy Friday. Uh, I wasn't expecting to really do this video today, but I saw something earlier, a video I wanted to share. So I figured I'd just hop on real quick and share this video, get some commentary. Some people might be watching this live. If not, it's all good. This will repost later. So, but yeah, man, how's everybody doing today? Happy Friday. A little tired today, man. I didn't really sleep well last night, but it's all good. So I went up, got up, had me my nice little smoothie. We got me a nice workout in, some lunch, meditation, and yeah, man. So I just got an alert on my phone. Oh yeah, Jarvis Landry will not be coming back to the Browns. He's going to the Saints. Which kind of expected that. Not really surprised, to be honest with you. I think they're really high on David Bell, so I'm cool with that. Salute to Jarvis for all the years he gave us. He was always a pro's pro and showed and played. I love Jarvis. Got nothing bad to say about Jarvis ever. So salute to Jarvis, and I'm excited, man, about David Bell. See where we're going next. But yeah, man. So wait till after 2 minutes here. I'll share this video. So this video today is about, what makes anxiety worse. And I saw this morning. This is by Dr. Scott Sivington, who I've mentioned before. He has the 2-screen method. And, man, I've been thinking about a lot of things all week, just kind of my own life, just ever since the Live Tuesday as well. Shout out to everybody who came to the Live Tuesday or watched. Shout out to Mike and Corey and Dan for coming on. And, but yeah, man, I wanted to share this video because, like I said, I've been thinking about a lot of things, not just this week, but just recently, just, kind of deeper along on my journey. And, it's making me think about a lot of things. And this video really helped me think about things even more, just kind of what I see now in my own life, just from in general in society nowadays. And, I think a lot of reasons why people continuously feel, stressed out and just full of anxieties because, we keep running the same programs in our head. And that's something I've had to deal with myself. And so, the first step is being honest with yourself and being aware of these things that you do. And so, yeah, man. But anywho, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and play this video again by Dr. Scott Sivington. I might play it more than once. If not, it's all good. Okay, this is not how I want it to look. Hold on 1 second. There we go. So again, this is fair use. Dr. Scott Sivington. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel. I have a lot of great content when it comes to anxiety, just overall, just mental health in general. It is mental health awareness month in May, but I think every month really is. We should always just be aware of mental health, not just a month for anything really. I think this is stuff we should always be focusing on all year long, just in part of our daily life, really. And so let me go ahead and play this video again. This is fair use. What makes anxiety worse? Dr. Scott Sivington. This is fair use.
When that worry comes into your mind, you start feeling anxious, certain responses, certain reactions will keep it going and cause you to feel more anxious, while other reactions and responses will cause it to dissipate and free you up. Anxious thoughts and feelings have 3 primary energy sources: spotlight of attention, reactivity, and avoidance behaviors. So the first one is spotlight of attention. You're driving in your car and you have this thought about that impending deadline or that upcoming exam. You go away in your head and then you start running that concern through your mind over and over again, right? You put the spotlight of attention on the worry. And the spotlight of attention functions like a heat lamp, just warming it, energizing it, giving it more sort of power and presence in your internal world. That's the spotlight of attention. The second potential energy source of anxiety is reactivity. And that's the oh no reaction. Like, I can't stand this feeling, or I can't live with that alarming idea. Reactivity is very natural, but that kind of resistance and that response also gives anxious thoughts and feelings energy. The third potential energy source is avoidance behaviors. When you avoid things that make you feel anxious, say driving over bridges, going to the dentist, flying, whatever it might be, you train the threat center of the brain that what you're avoiding is a real, legitimate, dangerous threat. So that over time, when you even think about doing that activity or actually are forced to do that activity, it sounds the alarm and triggers the fight or flight response as if your very life is in danger. So avoidance behaviors creates mental markers in the brain and confirms the threat status of different activities in life that really are not life-threatening to you. In the next video, we'll explore how you want to respond to make.
So again, that was Dr. Scott Symington. I thought that was a great video. He talks about spotlight. You can use spotlight a thought. Uh, you react to it, reactivity, and then avoidance behaviors. And I mean, that's pretty much everything I've been talking about on this channel when it comes to anxiety and just you know, you get that thought, you get that fear, you start to give into that, and it controls your thoughts, your behaviors, and everything. Then you start to become uh, everything you do is like-minded in that. And so, there never really is any uh, true inner peace when you allow that program just to control you and everything you do. You're basically just a robot. And that really made me sit and think, guys, about a lot of things like I was talking about earlier. When I'm out in public now or just looking around, people are asking about anxiety, and I'm talking to them, kind of just in my own life, just in general. And I just see a lot of people with just running away from things. Nobody really confronts things anymore. And I think that's a big problem. We don't confront any, and anxiety is just one example, but really just anything in life. I mean, we don't confront things anymore. We don't, we give into our feelings. We give into the pressures of the world, and we don't ever, really sit down and really address things that we know can help us and to help ourselves grow. You know what I mean? And so, uh, I guess we kind of look a little deeper into that. What causes a lot of these, at least what I see from my own personal experience, just from people I see in general every day, it's just a lot of it's just insecurities. Everybody's mind is just so controlled and just dictated to think a certain way, react a certain way. A lot of that's insecurities or guilt or fear from the past. That was mine for a while. And, for a while, that was me. And I'm still working on that in some ways. I allowed old programs and old things to control me from my past. And still, when I get in those moments, sometimes similar situations from my past made me fearful. I would start to replay those same actions and thoughts and emotions. And so, but that's just one example in life. Anxiety is just an example. I think you can use anything in life. I mean, look at people today, how they think. Everybody's so programmed and designed to think a certain way. Whatever that damn TV and the social media tells you or the news tells you, you believe every word of it. We don't question anything. Uh, I'm somebody, I like to see things as whole as they are. I like to make my own opinion, my own thoughts on things. I don't like my thinking and my actions to be controlled for me and told what to do. And so, that's just me. Uh, I think a lot of people nowadays are just so worried about uh, just keeping up with It's almost like keeping up with the Joneses per se. You know what I mean? Everything's about social media. It's all about a post, all about likes, all about retweets, all about comments, and the haha, hey, look at me show. But really, nobody gives a damn about any of that. I don't. I don't think more or less if you're online, posting something about, hey, look at me, or you go up here, you give a fabricated opinion on something, or it's not really yours. You just whatever, like I said, whatever the media tells you, whatever you see online, whatever society tells you to say and think, that's what you believe. And there's just really not much authenticity in that. And so a lot of times with people, like I said, they just start to feel really insecure, and that insecurity really makes them become more fearful. But they start to run away from things. They avoid. And the longer you run away from things, the harder it becomes. It's like a snowball. It starts off nice, small, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Before you know it, you got a mountain. And so that really was unnecessary to begin with. It didn't have to be that way. You know what I mean? And so, I'm kind of ranting here a little bit, guys, but that video, he talks about avoidance behaviors, reactivity. I think it just shows, people constantly, myself for a while, just people are constantly asking me since I started coming out to talk about my anxiety and or I just see in general online, especially like I said, it's Mental Health Awareness Month in May, so you're seeing a lot more of this stuff this month. Uh, I think people are looking for quick fixes. Everybody wants the quick fix, you know. But in reality, guys, you can't get it's like instant oatmeal or instant like processed food, just junk food. You cook it for once and then it just kind of dies away. It doesn't really last long. I mean, after a while, it's bad. It's not good. It's not really good for you long term. It might help you for momentarily, but it's not going to sustain you. And that's the key word, sustain. And that's what you want. You want to sustain, right? You want to heal. We don't want to. Why would you want to live like this the rest of your life? I don't. And I'm choosing not to anymore. And so, yes, you have days where it's hard. Yes, you have days where you want to revert back to those old methods, but you have to stay the course. You have to have patience, right? And I think that's very key. I think that was me for a long time. Why I kept reverting back to my old habits, why I couldn't fully, heal or get somewhere is because I would start to do good for a little bit, and then boom, something will pop up, some a situation or something would happen, and I would start to revert back to my old behaviors because I wasn't really prepared for that, and I had to just go on the fly. And in a turn, the situation would happen, whatever it was, or I'm getting an environment, or just something would happen that I was fearful, I wasn't prepared for. I would just replay those old memories, like I said earlier. And then what happened? A lot of times I would get very fearful again, very sensitized, and I would start to think I'm back to square one, right? And so, uh, and when that happens, your confidence goes down. All the momentum you created just goes down. Everything just goes to shit. It's so, excuse my language, but I mean, it's just the honest. Everything just goes down the tubes, and so uh, you go back to square one, and you just start to feel lost again, and kind of just out there. And I see this from a lot of people nowadays. A lot of people, uh, like I said, they're just rerunning programs. Uh, they're really just not their true selves. They're just a synthetic version of themselves. They're not being who they really were made to be, who God made them to be. And so, man, this is something I wanted to share today. It's something I've been thinking about. I saw that video, and I said, I'm going to come up here today. I'm going to share that video and kind of give my commentary on it. And, I'm using anxiety as an example and kind of how he broke it down, like I said, with, the spotlight. And anxiety is just an example. Like he was saying, let's say for health anxiety, suffer like myself, I get a feeling or something, or I'm in a situation. Like, for instance, let's go back to when I was playing football. Okay, it's hot out. I'm tired from working out and all that. I start to get feelings. The health anxiety starts to kick in about my health. Like, am I going to be okay here? What's wrong? Yada, yada, yada. I spotlight that thought, and then I start to react to that thought, and I let it control me. Now I'm chugging water too much. I'm like just hyper aware of everything. Make sure I eat up a certain amount of food and blah. I'm like just nonstop every minute, just keeping up with my health. Everything okay? Everything okay? Just like kind of just a hypochondriac. And it turned all that did was just give me more stress. It didn't help anything. I didn't avoid anything. My worst fear never happened. All that did was just give me more stress, and it made me stay up at nights, sleepless nights where you're up all night worrying about this, and just it's like a snowball effect, and it becomes your behaviors, and you start to act on those behaviors. You think that's who you are, right? And so, again, I'm just using anxiety as an example. You can use this in anything else in life. I'd say people are scared to be their true selves, because their opinion might not jive with what everybody else thinks, might not be liked online, right? And so they start to spotlight that, and they start to react in a different way. They start to react and think in a different way that's not really themselves. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? And so they start to act out of their behavior, act out of their who they really are, and what they really believe, what they know is true. And it just become who they are. They become this fabricated person over time, and over time they start to become further away from who they are. And you see this a lot of time with a lot of people. They start to become further away from who they are. That's why, you know, you look around nowadays, especially in the last 2 years, all this stuff that's happened. People are, everybody was so isolated in their house for so long. But I think you're starting to see now a chain reaction of just people are becoming spread further and further away from each other. Now's really the time when everything that's going on, and just uh, people should be staying together. People should be sticking together more, families, friends. But you're seeing more and more people being separated. Why? And you wonder why there's so much anxiety and stress. There's so much just no inner peace going on in our society with people, is because everybody's so scattered around. We're doing too much. We do too much. But it's all centered around, a lot of it is these kind of things like I've been saying about what's you social, like somebody's so worried about what the world thinks of them. They go and do all these things for social media approval. They post all these things. I got to go here, 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 here. I got to do this. I got to think this way. I got to act this way. I got to dress this way. I got to look this way. And there's no inner peace in that. Then you're just a robot. You're just on every day. You just wake up and you're just on like a automated system in your head. This is what you do every day, and it's just not really who you are. And I really noticed that, and I see people are not families being separated by a lot of these things. I think a lot of the political things going on, just it's become very divisive, and there's not a whole lot of confronting and good conversations trying to make peace on things, because honestly, I don't think there's really the people that run a lot of these things. I don't think they want peace, guys. I don't think they really want people to come together. I think I think a lot of this, the enemy is really having his way the last couple of years in a lot of ways, and really uh, using a lot of things that have happened to really make people more angry at each other, make people more divisive towards each other, make people separate towards each other, and that creates more loneliness and more uh, idle time. And we all know what idle time is, devil's playpen. And so, as you can see how I broke that down, that's why there's so much stress and anxiety nowadays. Just so much more than you probably ever seen in your lifetime. And so, and you kind of seen it unravel the last 2 years. People are becoming separated from each other. Like I said, families, people are less and less communicating with each other. We're more on our phone. We're all about these apps, and just, it's crazy. I see so many people like, yeah, I got, and I'm guilty of this too sometimes. I got to check myself sometimes. But, and a lot of times when I'm saying these things, it's also to check me too, right? And so make sure I'm on the track, got my stuff together. But I see a lot of people, for instance, like with TikTok. I don't use TikTok. Nothing against that. Just not something I use. I just never really got into it. But man, I see so many people. Uh, they'll sit on the app for 3 hours straight. And a lot of times during the night too. So they're not getting rest. They're not really giving back. They'll just sit on this app for 3 hours and just scroll, 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 scroll. And it's very easy on that app. I remember the short time I was using it, I noticed that. I was like, that's why I kind of got away from it. I was like, I don't really like this. But what TikTok is, and I'm not bashing the app. I think the app, what it's created for, I think is pure. When I say pure, but its intention is okay, music, and people dance to the songs or whatever it is, or maybe you share your message on there, you use it for a platform, whatever. But there's always a lot of times now it's social media. It's like what me and Mike and Corey were saying in the last show. It's a lot of it's more bad than good, and it's becoming more and more bad. The bad is really outweighing the good, and so uh, you know, it's a that app can really play with your mind. That app's just an example because it's sound, it's vibration, it's music that plays with your emotions. And when you're emotionally tuned into that app for 3 hours, it's hard to let go. And it's every day people are on that on these apps or just if you sit and watch the news all day long, that's like it's a dopamine effect. It gets you on a high, it gets you really sensitized, really alert into something, gets your energy up, and you just can't get your mind off of it. And in turn, you get more anxiety a lot of times, or just more stress, or more. Uh, you're just not able to really think for yourself. And down the road, that could really start to catch up with you. It's either you get to a point where you have to make a decision, like, okay, do I really want to live this life anymore? Or you really start doing things that maybe you don't want to do. Maybe you start acting in the flesh more. Maybe you start uh, you become isolated more from people you used to hang around. Your relationships die away. Things around you start to crumble a little bit. You're kind of like, yeah, uh, I feel like I'm fitting in with the world says I should fit in with by doing all these things, but I really have no inner peace. I really have no, uh, just whatever you want to say, inner peace, or just trying to find a word here, guys. Inner peace. I guess just leave it at that. And you have no inner peace. You just have no self empowerment, really. Just no belief in yourself. Everything you do is kind of fabricated. It's what's the trend? What's the next this? What's next that? Whatever happened, just being you. Whatever, just being your true self and standing on your own and doing the things you want to do. Let people gravitate towards you. You know what I mean? Because like I've been saying a lot, there ain't no authenticity nowadays. Society, we're craving it because there's not much of it. People gravitate towards people who are real and people who are honest. And you may not like their opinion. You may not agree with their opinion. That's okay. You know what I mean? And so, like for instance, the last episode, we went live. There was a different opinion on Deshaun Watson, that whole situation. Some people have a different opinion on it. Some people have a one opinion on it, and that's that. But doesn't mean we have to, uh, hate the other person or despise the other person. No, we could sit and have a good conversation about it, and maybe we can learn from each other. Maybe we can have good dialogue from each other. We can grow from each other. Maybe have a better understanding on whatever that situation is, right? And so, but we don't do that anymore. Everything's so divisive. Everything's so, you know, it's either this way or that. You're either on this side or on that side. There is no in between. There is no. That's just crazy, man. That's just nuts. That's not healthy. That's not a way to live. That's not a way our society should be. That's not how we should communicate or be around each other. We should be open with each other. We should be learning from each other. We should help each other grow. And the way to do that is to be ourselves, to be who we really do, be who we really are. You know what I mean? If I can come up here and share my opinion about things, my life stories on YouTube, or I came to YouTube with a message and a story to share and to have fun and to outreach and to help people. You know what I mean? And people help me. Uh, Anybody else can do that too. Just start off with little 10-minute clips every day or 15-minute clip. Just come up here and just share your story or share what's on your mind. And that's how we can start to grow together. Come into the chats, come in, hit the links. We can talk. We can talk about these things, have good conversations. But we don't do that anymore. There's not enough of it. I think we're starting to get back there. I think, guys that really helped inspire me to do this was guys like Kwame Brown, guys like in the sports world, Carcino. I'm talking about YouTubers and just other ways now we can communicate. We can use this for our advantage for good, right? We don't have to do the same old stuff anymore. We can change this. We can do these new things. We can interact in different ways. And basically what I'm saying this whole time is just, take a bet on yourself. You know what I mean? Trust yourself. Let yourself have a belief in yourself for once. And just maybe take a chance on God. If you don't believe in God, or, you know, just take a chance for once and just, do you really want to keep living the life you're living? Because over time, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And a lot of times, the people around you that you really care about and love, you're affecting them in some ways too, because your inability to change yourself. And sometimes those people have to make decisions like, you know what? I love you, but I can't keep doing this anymore because it's affecting me. So I think that's why but a lot of times it happens because there's not that communication at the open line. And so people just kind of tend to just hold things in, and they just to cry away and pry or just crumble away from each other. Right. And the relationships die away or whatever. It could be anything. Things just go away. We don't have that inner peace that we want. And so, guys, hope I'm making sense. This is the quick message I want to come on and share today. And hold on one second. Quick message I want to come up and share today. Hold on. If anybody's watching this though live, I know it's only 5 o'clock. It's probably not as a random time. So, but again, this will re-upload. But I just want to come on and share this real quick. I didn't want to go late again tonight because, man, I was tired the other day after doing that. That was the first time I ever did that. We got to like the second hour. I kind of like sat up in this chair and I was like, holy shit. I felt my legs. They were kind of numb. Everything was just like, I was like, man, I wasn't used to doing that. Eating dinner that late. I was like, okay. So now I'm prepared now. But I'm prepared now. So next time I'll know how to handle it a lot better. Hold on one second. I have somebody. But yeah, man. So I'm gonna drop the link if anybody's watching this. I don't this number thing up on my screen. The other night it wasn't accurate, so I don't know if anybody's watching this or not. If not, it's all cool. Like I said, I just want to go up and share this. And yeah. So the link is in the chat. If anybody wants to come up here. I believe that's the yeah. So like I said, the link is in the chat. If anyone wants to come up here and give me a response, what I've been talking about, or what do you guys see? What's kind of the biggest thing you guys see nowadays with people just kind of rerunning the same programs and just not you know living their true life they want to live? Hold on, somebody's messaging me. I think somebody is watching it. Link is in the chat. All right. So another thing I want to hit on real quick too. If anybody wants to hit the link, react to what I have to say or the video. I'm also going to react to the Browns schedule came out. We'll transition a little bit here to some sports. The Browns schedule came out yesterday, and we just heard the news right when I hit live. Jarvis Landry's going to the Saints, so he's officially out now. So now it's David Bell time, in my opinion, which I'm cool with. I'm really high on David Bell. I liked him coming out. He went to one of the guys I watched, Jason Whitlock. That's one of his guys. He mentioned him on a show because he went to the same high school, Warren Central in Indianapolis. Then David Bell went on to Purdue, had a great career at Purdue. He was highly recruited coming out of high school. I remember seeing his name. Ohio State really wanted him. Brian Hartline, who's the wide receiver coach at Ohio State, was really high on David Bell and still is to this day. Even during the draft, when David Bell was sliding, he was like, hey, hold on one second. He was like, hey, if somebody's hold on, somebody said they're not seeing the link. 1 second. Let me try this. Hold on 1 second, guys. Somebody's trying to hit the link. Actually, let me do this. Hold on, guys. 1 second. Yeah, I'm still getting used to all this on the fly stuff, doing these lives. So, like I said, this wasn't even really planned. I just saw this video and I said, you know what? I'm going to come up here, share this, and give a reaction to what's been on my mind this week. Give a little rant, rant a little bit. And so, yeah, man. All right. So, like I said, the link is in the chat. It should be in the chat. Somebody says it's not showing. Let me try this again. So I just posted the link again in the chat. Hopefully that works. But anywho, I want to react to this Brown schedule as well. Kind of give a breakdown of what I see for the season. And now that we know Jarvis is officially out, David Bell time. And so, like I was saying, Brian Hartline was he was even high on David Bell during the draft. He tweeted out like, "Hey, you want to steal? Basically, you want to steal? Go get David Bell." And they took him. Thank gosh. And so he's a great player. I'm excited about David Bell. I think he's going to have a great rookie year. I think having better quarterback play now, I think, is really going to elevate just everybody else. And hold on, we got somebody. What's up, bro?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am great. Coming at you live from Porco's in Cleveland, best tiki bar you can find in Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, so you're out at the tiki bar.
I am at a tiki bar.
All right, cool. So you able to check what I was saying earlier?
I caught bits and pieces, but the service ain't great out here.
I got you. Nah, man, I was just kind of talking about a lot of things. I showed a video about, we talked about anxiety the other day and all that good stuff. And I was kind of showing just, what do you see a lot of people just kind of running these same programs every day where they're kind of just not really doing what they want to do and that people just aren't really happy nowadays?
Running in the same what? I'm sorry?
Kind of running the same subconscious programs and just, kind of just falling into the pressures of the world, really, which causes more stress and fear.
Yeah, that's the biggest issue is we fall into, especially if you have anxiety for a very long time, you begin to recognize your triggers and all that good stuff. But unfortunately, they are still your triggers. Over time of having it, you're going to realize more and more of what causes you to have anxiety and, what you can better deal with it. So it's almost like a blessing and a curse, right? Like, I'm sure you can understand. Because, like, for me, like, I understand what causes me anxiety. Sometimes those things still cause me anxiety, but at least now I can recognize those things.
What do you think is how big of a factor do you think social media and just the news and just kind of like I was saying, the peer pressures of the world kind of make people they think they have to live a certain way, that things they really don't believe in either?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially social media, they have such a big social pull. And even people that we know in our personal lives that are more involved in social media will have an unfortunate, almost like a bias.
Yeah. Hold on, we lost Mike. Mike re-entered the thing. But yeah, Mike was making a good point, though. Like you were saying, it's kind of like a bias. Let's see. Oh, here he goes. Oh, we got you again.
Got me. Sorry, like I said, the service ain't great.
No, you're good.
But yeah, kind of what I was saying. Like, social media really does factor into a lot of how we think we should live, and even just online news. The news is another thing that just because we're more well informed now than we ever have been. And again, it goes back to like the blessing and cursing. It's a blessing that we're able to have more information now than we ever have been with the internet and social media. But unfortunately, it's a curse because societal norms, if you will, quote unquote, are becoming more prevalent, whereas they might not even be societal norms. That's just what society's pushing. But social media is, I believe, to be one of the most damaging things to the American psyche that could be. Like, in its original form, what it was made for, I think it was great stride, but what it's become now and what it can cause to your mental health, especially if you deal with anxiety, depression.
Well, not only that, like earlier, I was using an example for sorry to cut you off, but with TikTok.
No, you're fine.
You know, TikTok is music, it's vibration, it taps into your emotions. And I see a lot of people now that really, they spend a lot of time, 2 to 3 hours a day on that app, or even more.
Oh, yeah.
And that app,
I mean, I can't tell you how many hours I spend myself on like Facebook, Twitter. I mean, hours, you know?
And so what do you think a lot of this is? It's just a lack of human interaction nowadays? It just kind of just...
it could very well be that. And while we might not see this as much as in the state of Ohio, by the way, my phone near dead. So if I get cut off, it's probably my phone dying. But I think a lot of it has to do with COVID, right? It's because a lot of the country was cut off for a long time, and it really, I don't know if we'll ever truly understand the mental impact that it had on our psyche as Americans.
And I talked about that earlier as well. I use that as an example. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because in Ohio, we had lockdowns and whatnot, but maybe not as extreme as the rest of the country. But for a good portion of Americans, I mean, look at California, which is probably one of the most extreme cases of, COVID lockdowns, COVID restrictions, all of that you can see is also our most populous state. 35 million people live in California. That's more than Canada, all of Canada. So, what it's done to our psyche, even with COVID, I think is, I don't know if we'll see the ramifications or the true, juxtapose kind of what it's actually done to us for many.
Well, not only that, now you have a lot of people. I'm sorry.
To a point, and what it has become because of COVID.
What's my doing? I hear sirens in the back. What if they pulled up on my boy? But no, Mike was making a good point. We'll see. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on, let me see. I'll put him in the back. This phone might have died. But no, I think Mike was making a hell of a point there about, like I was talking about earlier, just the last 2 years of COVID and just, I don't think you can say that word now, which is crazy. But, it's become so political. If you agree one thing, one way or the other, it's like we can't really sit and have good, healthy dialogue about anything anymore, especially with that topic. It's just divisive. And now you look in California, too, just how that's going. Like Mike was talking about, one of the most locked down states. I saw something yesterday. Now California's trying to do something maybe where you can only get 7 gallons of water to use per day, which is for a lot of families, a lot of households, that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a struggle for a lot of people. And so, I think, Mike, that link's still in the chat. You want to come back up? His phone might have died. But anywho, for a lot of these families that live out there, just people in general, that's going to be a problem for a lot of people. And we're seeing now there's a baby formula shortage. There's, just the price of living is just through the roof right now. Gas is high. Everything's high. And so, but at the same time, people are just sitting and isolating themselves more and more. And there's almost like a hatred being formed that's going on amongst people. And that's not good at all. And so, and things are just getting worse and worse around us in our society. And so our economy is just not great. Everything's just kind of going down. And so, and I'm usually not a political person. I'm not really I don't like politics that much, guys. But I also, this affects everybody in our society we live in. So, but I think I shared a lot today, kind of just a lot of points that kind of head towards the same thing, which is just, start today, just forming your own opinion, just having a mind of your own and just being who you want to be. Don't keep falling in the pressure of this world, and especially falling into things that aren't who you really are. And it's, you can have the life you truly want to have. You just got to believe it in yourself. And so, you don't have to be what your authority figures were to you, or what people want you to be. You can be who you want to be. And if they don't like it, the hell with them. Really, I don't give a damn what anybody thinks. As long as I'm content with me, then that's all that matters. And so, content with me, and I'm content through Christ. Most importantly, I'm complete through God. And that's where ultimately the root cause of a lot of things is spiritually. You got to have that spiritual connection, that spiritual background to something. And so, or else you're just kind of going to be scattered. You're just scattered thinking. You're always going to be searching and looking for something that you're not going to find until you really confront these things and find the true happiness. But it's sit right there in front of you. You just got to go get it. And so that was my rant for today, guys. I think Mike's phone died. But real quick before I go, I want to react to this schedule. I haven't really looked at it yet fully. Hold on one second. Let me see here. Hold on one second. Let me pull this up. But yeah, I want to react to this schedule right quick. If I can find it. I think this is it. Okay, here we go. Let me zoom out on this. Can I zoom in? Hold on, y'all. Okay, we'll go from right here. Am I there? Man, I need to get used to this stuff still. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'll react to the schedule real quick, kind of what I see. So week 1, Carolina. Now, again, a lot of this depends on with Watson, his suspension. We don't know what's going to happen there. But, so let's take a look here. Carolina, week 1. I like our chances there, even if Watson doesn't play. Week 2 against the Jets. The Jets are a young team. They got some good. I think they had the best draft out of all the teams. I like our chances there. Week 3 versus Pittsburgh at home Thursday night. If Watson plays, I really like our chances. If Watson doesn't play, I think they're going to have to really run the ball effectively that game. Week 4, you got Atlanta. They should beat Atlanta even with Brissett if Brissett has to play. Week 5 against the Chargers. That's a tough game. I think you'd like to have your quarterback in that game because the Chargers are really loaded. Week 6 against New England. A winnable game, but I think you got to have a good run game in that game. And the secondary maybe can give Mac Jones some fits, get after the quarterback. That would be more of a defensive game, in my opinion. Week 7, Baltimore, you want to have your quarterback there. So week 7, week 8, and then week 8 falling right after that, you got Cincinnati. So I think really weeks 5 through 8, you got the Chargers, you got New England, you got Baltimore, and you got Cincinnati. All were playoff teams or borderline playoff teams. I mean, the Chargers could have been a playoff team. I mean, they lost that game on a field goal to the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken. So, but they got Justin Herbert, who I think's top 5-7 quarterback in the league. Certainly played like it that game. And so you got the Chargers, the Patriots, the Ravens, and the Bengals. That's a really tough stretch going into that bye. And so you'd like to at least split right there. They got to get out to a good start, though. I think if they can go 2-1 in the first 3, beat Atlanta, now you're 4 or let's say 3-1. I think they got to at least split the next 4 games. So that would take them to 5 wins. So 5-3. I think that's good. 5-3 going to the bye. I think for all the new pieces on the team would be good. Then you come out of the bye. You're on the road at Miami. I don't know what Miami's going to look like next year because just a lot of. Hold on one second. Let's see if Mike wants to come back up here. I think his phone might have died. But anywho, I think the Miami game, I don't know what to expect of Miami, but I'll say that's a very winnable game for us. At Buffalo, it's a tough game, obviously, on the road. I could see them maybe dropping a game there, but you never know. But that's a tough one there. Tampa, same thing. You got TB12 coming to town. But they're at home, though, so I still like their chances there. Houston, I think they'll win that. At Cincinnati, you never know. Baltimore. So you got those back-to-back weeks, week 11 and 12, where Buffalo, Tampa, that's a really tough back-to-back. I mean, those are arguably – you can make argument for either one of those teams to be the best team in the league, really, or in the conference at least. Buffalo could be the best in the AFC. I think Tampa, you can make your argument, is arguably the best in the NFC. So that's who you got back-to-back weeks. Thankfully, one of those is at home. And then, like I said, Houston. And then you got another tough stretch again. You got week 14 and week 15 with Cincinnati and Baltimore, division rivals. New Orleans, I know they just added Jarvis. Who is New Orleans quarterback? Is it Jameis or Taysom Hill? I don't know. At home, I like our chances there. Day before Christmas, I'll take us there. Washington, that's a winnable game. I don't think Washington's going to be. I think they're 500 team at best, in my opinion. Then week 18, you never know how you look up to that point with if your starters play or not against Pittsburgh, if you're in the playoffs already, or are you in a situation like 2 years ago where you have to win that game to get in the playoffs? Hopefully, it's the first answer, which is kind of a wash game, and that's that. So, but yeah, that's kind of like my initial reaction to the schedule. Like I said, I think that weeks 5 through 8 that's really going to dictate the season, in my opinion. A lot of that depends on, the whatever happens with Deshaun Watson. So we'll see what happens there. That's a really tough stretch, even with New England. I mean, New England was a playoff team last year, and they're always obviously really well coached. Mac Jones does his job. Defensively, they're always great, and so that's not an easy game ever against New England. And then with Baltimore, Cincinnati, and the Chargers. So it's some great quarterbacks they got to go against. You got to go against Herbert. You got to go against Lamar, Burrow twice, Lamar twice, Brady, Allen. I mean, that's a lot of great quarterbacks you got to go against. And so, but yeah, man, we'll see what happens. I think they can win. If they can get around 12 wins, I think 12 wins might win the division. I mean, that division's stacked, AFC North. So I think 12 could win. I mean, if you look here, Carolina could be a win. That's 1. New York, win. That's 3. Atlanta, win. Let's see. Atlanta's a win. Miami's a win. That's 5. 6. 7, 8. So that's 8 wins. So New England, 9. Like I said, I think you got to split here. Let's say they win the Halloween game at home, 9, 10. Split one of these games here with Buffalo and Tampa. Let's say you beat Tampa at home. That's 11. And then you got to win the Pittsburgh game for 12. So the Pittsburgh game still might be a game you got to win the division. That could be a divisional crown game there. Possibly, maybe not. But again, this is just my initial reaction to the schedule. A lot of this depends on what happens with suspension. Right now, I haven't heard anything about a possible suspension. I know the league's saying it's an ongoing investigation, so we'll see. Again, like I said the other night, I want to clarify. It went to 2 trials. He was proven not innocent so far. Again, it's a very subjective matter. You got 22 cases hanging over him, so we don't really know. A lot of people look at that and say, well, 22, doesn't look good, obviously, and I totally get that. That's, but I like to look. I'm somebody that likes to look and just kind of wait and see in totality for everything. I think there's been a lot of different information put out there, but there's also been information about 18 other women who said they totally disagreed with it. They said, no, we've worked with him before. He was fine. So I don't know. That's none of my business. I'm not trying to get into all that, but all I'm saying is I'm somebody just likes to wait and see. I like to make my own opinion. We'll see how this plays out. It's a very fluid situation, I think. Again, it's went to 2 civil trials. Both were proven not guilty. So legally, I think now it's kind of come down to we'll see what more comes out of this. In the league, obviously, will do their part in investigating it, but we'll see what happens. And if he doesn't want to settle, then if he thinks he's not guilty, why should he settle? Because if he settles, then people might say, well, then he was kind of admitting that he was wrong. So I don't know. He doesn't want to settle. At least that's what I heard. Some people are saying he should settle, but if he believes he's not guilty, then why should he settle? So it kind of goes both ways. But whenever it comes to anything like this kind of stuff, guys, like I said, I like to wait and see. But a lot of my approach is kind of just my spiritual belief. It's my background. Just being completely honest. I always think of the verse when, um, the part of the Bible where they found the woman committing adultery and they brought her to Jesus and they said the law says to stone her to, we must punish this lady. And Jesus said, well, let he without sin cast the first stone. Throw your stones. Throw your stone. Not saying what's right. As we should. I think it's good to call out things. People, if they commit a crime or if they do anything, it should go through the law and the process to be whatever punishment comes out of it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, guys, that's between them and God. That's just, again, I'm just speaking for myself, and this is my opinion. I'm entitled to my own opinion, whether you agree with it or not. So, and I don't really care what you think about, not in a mean way, not being disrespectful, but again, this is my opinion. And so, like I said, I just like to wait and see, I like to let things play out, and we'll see what happens. And that's really all my take is on it. I'm not somebody that's letting the emotions of this media or whatever. I saw. I'm not gonna name any names, but I saw something the other day about a certain local reporter that was taking a shot at Deshaun Watson. Said he was, because Deshaun Watson blocked him on Twitter and he put quote adult. Look, this is the new quote adult in the room. And then you go and look in the Twitter feed and the comments, and people are like, well, this same guy was blocking fans on his own page. So it's kind of like, where's the hypocrisy? And that's kind of like my whole take on it is like, really just with anything is we're all sinners. And if you look at what the Bible says, even if you've had a thought in your head of hate, it's almost like it's like murder. I mean, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, and excuse me for not having the memory on top of my head, but I mean, again, I base these kind of things on my spiritual belief. To me, it's between them and God, and we're all sinners. We're all falling short. Nobody's perfect, and really, like Christ said, throw your stones. And so, I think, like I said, people need to be patient. People need to slow down and let things play out, and people need to stop. Kind of basically what I was saying all day today. Stop. Letting the pressures of the world dictate your opinion. You shouldn't go online and post something you're sure you don't believe in just for likes. To me, that's weird. That's inauthentic. That's kind of foul, if you ask me. And so, because I just don't, that's not healthy. That's that's again another example of a divisive society. You have people that think they're above everybody else and that they're better than everybody, but really nobody's just as good as anybody. We're all sinners. Nobody's greater than God. But it seems to me we have a lot of people nowadays that think they're above God because they don't really belong. They're not connected to anything. They're not connected to nothing. And this is the result of that. When you're not connected to nothing, you start to have an ego and you think you're better than everybody. Right? And so it's kind of like a false reality of what's really going on with these people. And they're kind of just people I really don't tend to hang around a whole lot either, to be honest with you. I can only take so much of them after so long because I just don't like phonies. I like real people. And I like people that are honest and people that, hey, if we disagree on something, cool. I respect your opinion, you respect mine. But this whole thing about I'm better than you because I think a certain, my opinion, I think is right and yours is wrong and I'm better than you. To me, that's weird. That's just, that's kind of like, what are you really looking for? It's almost like there's something insecure or something wrong about you, right? And so that's my take for today, guys. And I ranted a little bit. This is a random live. I like to do more of these random lives. Like I said, let me know what you think in the comments about the video. I want to thank Mike for coming up on the panel. I know his phone died. He's up at the bar. So let me know what you guys think about the video in this random live. And I'm going to do more of these. And kind of what I had to say. Leave a comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, which is important. So next time I go live randomly, you'll know I'm live. You'll just get the alert. You'll get the notification on your phone. And that's how that will go. So, yeah, man. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my Friday. and enjoy this beautiful weather. And yeah, man, just go enjoy my night. Hope you guys do too. I'll talk to you guys later. Go.